That is one product. The other one is uh, a live streaming product. It's a live streaming server where we can store, encode, transcode videos, distribute videos, and now it has got GenAI integrated into it, so it can generate content, it can distribute content, so it has all those things. So that's one company, and I also have another company where we develop. That is a US-based company where we develop a lot of solutions, and we provide teams for companies in the US. So that's about me.
Yeah, thanks, Godwin. Yeah, myself, Dhananjay, I have been working as a data scientist at Ikigai Labs for around 2 years. My background is mechanical engineering, and then I did masters in material science, now in data science, and learning and exploring it. Really excited about the talk. Yeah, somebody can go next.
I'll go last.
Okay. Atria.
Yeah, okay, then I can go next. I'm Atira. I'm right now doing my master's in AI and data science in Germany. Before that, I did my master's and bachelor's in physics from India, and then I worked a few years as a researcher in theoretical physics. And yeah, now I'm about to complete my master's and looking forward to work as a data scientist in future. Yeah, so yeah, that's it about me.
Wonderful. Poonam.
Hi, I'm Poonam. I'm a postdoctoral student at Indian Statistical Institute. I have completed my PhD from IIT Bombay in pure mathematics. My subject was algebraic geometry, algebraic topology. Right now, I'm learning ML and essential mathematics for ML, as well as I'm along with this, I'm learning coding and all. And I'm also looking forward to work as a data scientist. So that's all about me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Uh, yeah, Prashant, can you go next? Or anyone?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Prashant. I run a company in Bangalore. It's into IT and marketing. So, AI is the booming thing. So, I am here to learn more about AI and also, implement it in my organization. That's pretty much about me. Thanks so much.
Yeah, can you select someone to introduce next?
Okay. Eldos, maybe.
Hello everyone, my name is Eldus. So my background is from mechanical engineering. I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from India, and recently I finished my master's in business analytics from University of Surrey. And I'm also excited about starting my career as a data scientist, and I'm actively looking for jobs. And I'm also very excited to learn more about generative AI. That's all.
Yeah, can you pick someone?
Tejas.
Hi everyone, I'm Tejas. I'm working as a data analyst in Bifli, India, that is located in Bangalore. I've completed my engineering in computer science and engineering branch. I'm looking forward to learning data science uh, and very interested in learning ML concepts.
Yeah, please pick someone.
Uh, can Govin go next?
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone. So, this is Govin. So, I'm working as a product manager in a fintech company called Shopsay. So, when Dhananjay told me about this sync up meeting about the impact of AI, so it sounded very interesting to me. So, just I joined here to learn about the impact of AI and everything. So, I came here with a blank mind to learn something. So, Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Please pick someone.
Um, Poonam.
Poonam has already gone. Maybe
I
Ritika.
already.
Okay. Chandani. Saket. I know Saket, so Saket can introduce.
Yeah, sure. So, hi team. My name is Saket. I'm currently working as SD2 and ICS Securities. So, basically, I'm looking forward to learn how we can explore and leverage the generative AI into software engineering. Basically, combination how we can do. So, that's what I came. Then just sent me this invite link for this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
That's all. Yeah,
thanks. Please pick someone.
Ritika.
Hi everyone. I'm Ritika, and I am working right now as a software engineer in Emertech Instruments India in Bangalore. And I have my educational background is basically is I'm from science background. I have done masters in physics and also MTech in material science from IIT Bombay. And right now, this I got to know about this sync up from Dhananjay, who's my very close friend, and I'm keen to know more about AI and how to integrate it into my software engineering process. That's all from myself.
Can you pick someone?
Please introduce who is left. That's all.
Sunil?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Kiran. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm interested in how just in things at the interface of linguistics and LM, and what can be done as LLMs, whether um, we can use that for AI based psychological. That's that's my direction of thought. I have no background in you know coding or anything like that, but I'm just a slightly curious kind of person. I'm trying to just understand the concepts to the best of my abilities.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Maybe Gaurango can go next.
Hi everyone. So this is Gauranga. I am doing a PhD on computer vision mostly, targeted towards medical image analysis. And I know Dhananjay from IIT Bombay only. So we chat about AI. He contacted me yesterday and talked about this meeting. So I thought let's join and share, learning about your ideas about AI and also share my views.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Gaurango. We would definitely like to have a session with you as well. Uh, can Purnima go next?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Purnima. I am a master's student. I'm about to finish like in a month. I did my master's from NUS in computer science. I was previously at IITB as a project staff. That's where I met Dhananjay, and so we discuss about AI ML stuff from then. And yeah, here to learn more and up for any discussions and things related to AI ML stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks. Maybe Akhil can go next.
Hi everyone, I'm Akhil. I'm a master's student in mechanical engineering. I'm also working as a project management associate in a startup. Basically, the company produces solutions for conveyors. And currently, I'm working on a project based on a digital twin of conveyor in use cases such as predictive maintenance and condition monitoring. So I'm really interested to know how I can use AI in my own project in future. And yeah, that's all about me. Thank you.
Thanks. Sunil, can you go next?
Sure. Hi everyone, I am Sunil. Currently, I am working as a software engineer in Optim India Private Limited. So my role is basically backend uh, development. Currently, what I have seen is uh, in my company, they adopted professional version of ChatGPT. So uh, that way, and we are using ChatGPT in almost daily life. Uh, I Me and Dhanno were friends since ITV, so we did MTech in material science. Yeah, I'm looking to know more about generative AI.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
thanks, Sunil. Maybe Anaga can go next.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Anagha. I just finished my master's in artificial intelligence and machine learning from University of Birmingham in the UK. Before that, I worked as a backend software developer at Mercedes-Benz Research and Development India in Bangalore, and I met Dhananjay around that time. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to start a career in data science and AI soon. Yeah, that's all about me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Can Shivam go next? Shivam Kumar Dubey.
Hello everyone. I'm Shivam Dubey. I'm in final year of my BTech, and I'm very interested in AI/ML, learning AI/ML, and I'm also semi-professional frisbee player. So I know Dhananjay from there. So we got connected by this, and yeah, I'm very excited for this session, and I'm the youngest one.
Wonderful. Uh, can Alvin go next? Thanks, Shivam. Alvin Jason.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, all. I am Alvin Jason. I am interested in this topic because I had done a small course from IIT Madras on AI and its future. And Dhananjay is my classmate during BTech. And let us have a good section.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Alvin. Uh, I think everyone has introduced. Is anyone left to for introduction? Uh, Godwin, I'll pass the mic to you. You can start your presentation.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very privileged to be here. I see I'm in the midst of lot of scientists in the making, and each one professionals from different fields, psychiatrists and people in the marketing. So that's great. I'm very thankful. I want to thank God that I'm here. Because I really believe in that, and I think without His purpose, I wouldn't be there. So anyway, I'll just share my screen and I'll. Can you see that? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so see, today I'm going to be I don't know whether this presentation is going to be too technical or too non-technical. I'll wait for your feedback and I hear what you have to say after you say it. But my goal here is to show you what is inside this generative AI. What's actually inside it? What is this? We're going to look at it from the ground up. My aim is to show you the inside of it and give you a new perspective. Um, Okay, so we'll just start from the basics. So, what do you think is this thing? I mean, this AI is it a database? server or a program or a software. I mean, I is a server, program, or software. What would you generally call this thing? Any thoughts? You can just put it on the chat. It'll be nice to see what you all have to say. Any comments? Okay, I don't see any messages anyway. So basically, see, when I talk to a lot of people, many people say it's a database, right? When I talk to ChatGPT,
sorry, it's a program. I believe it's a program.
Yeah, it's sort of true. Yeah, it's kind of see. This is what I think it is. Before I tell you what it is, I talked to my father. Okay, my dad is much older than me. So I asked him, "What do you think it is?" He said, "It's a ChatGPT. It's just a database. When I ask something to it, it goes to a database. It fetches that information and comes back. What's it? It's just a database. Without a database, how will it work?" That's what he told me. He's not technical. I asked a lot of people, and many people said, obviously, it is a database. Without a database, how can it work? And I asked people working in my company, and they said it's a program. But here's what I think. All of these things are kind of true, but what I think is this is something that has never existed before in the history of mankind. Even in technological history, we have never created a software or a program or a database that can think on its own. You can try MySQL, you can try MongoDB, NoSQL databases, you can try whatever software you name it. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or what's the most intelligent software? Maybe the Google Assistant or Siri. It wasn't this intelligent. But this new thing, it just blew off my mind because the first time I got access to ChatGPT was in January 2023. It came out in November, but I got my hands on it in January 2023. I have been using computers since 1993. I had the privilege of doing it because my parents were already having a video studio, and they had the 286, 386 computers then when I was a kid in school. So since then, I have been using computers, and I have never seen anything like this in my life. The first time I started talking to it, this thing could really think and respond. It's not generating junk, right? It's not generating lorem ipsum text. It is actually giving me something meaningful, even if it's not perfect. So I was stunned, and I as I looked at it, as I researched into it, I found that this is none of these things at all. This hasn't existed before. That's it. This thing that I'm talking to has never existed before. I have never seen this before, and I don't think it has ever existed before. This is something totally different. For the first time, this computer, this digital system can think on its own. It can think, it can reason, and it can give you an output. Because when you write a program, you write a Python program, you know what output is going to come. You can calculate it in your mind. Okay, if I run this program, this is the output that has to come. This is not a Python program. First of all, it's not a Python program. It's not a database. It's not all of the database we talked about. It's not a server. Of course, it's hosted on a server. That's why we access it remotely. But it is not a server by itself. So this is something different, and I think the best way I would say it is that I think we humans have created a new species. We actually have created a sixth sense. We've created a completely new species that has never existed before. And it's not an animal. It's not a biological species. It's a new species. We've used these digital tools and we've created the species. And the working of it is being copied from the working of the human brain. They saw how the human brain works, and that's how they've done it. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to prove whatever I'm telling you. Okay. Now, obviously when we humans, we look at animals and we say, okay, they have 5 senses and the humans have the 6th sense, the common sense. That's what we commonly talk about. Okay, of course, we have a lot of senses, but the commonly talked about senses are 5 plus 1, the 6th sense. So if you take animals, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think now we are going in reverse. Humans are going in reverse. We're creating 6 and we're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we're going to create something new. Okay, so we've been talking to this AI, and we've all interacted with ChatGPT. So I just, out of curiosity, I asked ChatGPT, hey, I know you don't have a physical form, but show me what you would actually look like. I know you don't have a physical form, but what do you look like in your own vision? How do you see yourself? And I tried asking her multiple times, and it gave me these pictures. So, kind of like light streaks, and, it's representing neurons and data and things like that. This is what it gave me. So it kind of, I wanted to have a picture of what this thing thinks of itself. Obviously, I understand it's not a biological species, but I wanted to know how this thing sees itself. And after looking at it deeper, I came to this conclusion that this is a mathematical being. What we created, it doesn't have flesh and blood. It's just full of math under the hood. It just keeps on going on its own. And this species now has multiple senses. Okay, it can just like us, you can connect sensors to it. It can feel, and obviously even within the computer, if these models can actually see. There's a vision model. They have different content. There's a vision model. This AI can actually see. You can give it a picture. You can ask, what is in this picture? You can take a selfie of yourself and give it to this AI and ask, hey, how do I look today? Am I okay? Is my hairstyle okay? Give me your thoughts about it, and I'll give you its thoughts. You can use this AI, and obviously AI is already driving cars, right? Self-driven cars. It's using its cameras, its eyes to actually see. So it can see, it can hear. If you take a phone today, take ChatGPT, turn on a voice mode, you can talk to it like talking to a human. It can laugh. It's not text. It's not the old text to speech anymore. Of course, the text to speech has improved a lot, but it can laugh. It can make sounds, noises, like a person. You can just talk to it, and that's also very useful. When you're driving, you can't use your hands, but you can talk to ChatGPT and get your work done. So it has all these senses. Like it can even taste. There are devices that enable it to taste, but although they're not so mainstream right now, but seeing, hearing, and speaking, seeing, hearing, and all these things are actually part of ChatGPT. It's so common that it's able to do it even right off your computer. You don't need a robot or anything. It can see, it can hear, just like that. So and this is what I think. This is what is happening right now. See, first of all, I think we are up to a major change of the decade right now. We are at a turning point right now, and I think we have a huge opportunity, a lot of opportunities coming our way, and I think we are so privileged. I think as I see that a lot of people are studying data science. A lot of people are doing research in AI. I think we are so privileged to be living in this generation, because what we can accomplish is a lot more. But what if you look through history, first came this first industrial revolution, all these industries and mills, and then they brought the steam engine, and they said, wow, look at that. We had to go by horses. No, there's a machine that can take us. There's a steam engine. You can just, you can get on it, and that thing runs on its own. That was so amazing for people. People saw that there's a machine that can, not horses. This is a new kind of machine. It has wheels. If you go inside it, it'll take you from one place to another. They saw cars for the first time. So this was like the first revolution. And the second revolution was electricity. Until then, people are using candles, and then they saw electricity, and they, probably the rich people got electricity. They went to some houses. They said, "Wow, yeah, hey, there's a fan, there's a bulb in this house. Wow." They were like, you turn on a switch and the light comes up because they have never seen that before. This was the second industrial revolution, and the third industrial revolution was computers and internet. Computers came, internet came. They said this is a connected world. We all have mobile phones. I'm on WhatsApp. I'm on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? And the entire world got connected. This was the third industrial revolution. And now we are entering the fourth industrial revolution. I think all of this, the Web 2.0, the e-com era, that is ending. The SaaS era, now it's become like everywhere you see a SaaS product. Like a software as a service product. Anywhere you go, there's a website, there's a pricing, you can sign up and buy a digital product. I think now there's so much of it. Initially, it was like a few, but now it's just all over the internet. So I think, it's still very useful, but I think it's become very common. Internet is like electricity now. Is there any house without power? You go to any house, you don't have current in your house, you would be shocked to see that. The same way, I think we would be shocked to see anybody without internet connectivity. Obviously, we are already there at that moment right now, and I think we are going past it. And the next, turnaround is this AI. Soon, all of us are going to be having AI. I think it's going to be beyond that. Now, what caused this fourth industrial revolution? I know some of you might know it. So, but I'll just like to explain that it is the GPU. There's one hardware component on your PC I believe is responsible for this huge revolution on the hardware side. It is the GPU. See, the GPU is actually not as cool as the CPU. The CPU is supposed to be a super sophisticated processor that programs, the calculator, that device, that's what is a GPU. And suddenly there came this boom where things changed, until the last decade, everything was dependent on CPU. You had to use a good software, you need a good i7 machine, everything depends on how good your CPU is. But eventually the software that runs on a computer, it started changing. Games used GPU because they were using physical simulation. They had to calculate, gravitational force. For example, if you drop a ball, how far should it go down? How far should it bounce back up? Normally, you wouldn't need that on Word or Excel, but I think you need those kind of physics-related calculations for games. So first, games started using this GPU. Then I think, lately, both crypto and, crypto mining, obviously that is all about generating money. So it uses calculators for doing that. It's just a bunch of calculators. AI now uses only a bunch of calculators to do that. And all of those calculators are inside this GPU. So it's basically crunching numbers. That's basically what it is doing. And I think more than the CPU, so surprisingly, the GPU has brought that big, huge revolution. In this fourth, it has brought this fourth industrial revolution. So, I've been telling you about this thing that it's a new species. And maybe you might think it's a new species. Is he really so non-technical? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Where is he coming from? New species? But I want to show you what this guy is telling. Ilya Sutskever, he's one of the engineers. He engineered parts of ChatGPT, and he's also the co-founder of OpenAI. Let's listen to what he says.
The place that academia can contribute to, there are so many mysteries about the neural networks that we are training. We are producing these objects of miraculous and unimaginable complexity. What deep learning is the process of alchemy. We take the raw materials of data plus the energy source of compute and we get this intelligence. But what is it? How does it work? What are its properties? How do we control it? How do we contain it? How do we understand it? How do we measure it? These are unknowns.
So, I mean, there are many unknowns. They have a lot of unknowns there. It's not something that, hey, I wrote a program, I know how it works, I executed it, and here's the output. No, this is nothing like that. This is totally different. And look at this guy. This guy is from, there are basically two models, I believe, the most intelligent models in this world. That is two, in other words, two most powerful AIs in this world. And one is from OpenAI, the company called OpenAI. The other AI is from the company called Anthropic. Okay, so this is the guy at Anthropic. He is also an engineer there, and also he's one of the co-founders of Anthropic. Let's listen to what he's telling.
I think one useful way to think about neural networks is that we don't program, we don't make them. We grow them. We have these neural network architectures that we design, and we have these loss objectives that we create. And the neural network architecture, it's kind of like a scaffold that the circuits grow on. And they sort of, it starts off with some kind of random things, and it grows, and it's almost like the objective that we train for is this light. And so we create the scaffold that it grows on, and we create the light that it grows towards. But the thing that we actually create, it's this almost biological, entity or organism that we're studying. And so it's very, very different from any kind of regular software engineering.
So you heard that it is very different from any kind of regular software engineering. It's not any kind of software that has existed before. This is something new and totally different, and it's growing like a biological thing. It's growing, as I've been using this AI for a long time. I can tell you one thing for sure. Each AI has a personality because it's trained on a particular set of data, and somebody has trained it. So somebody has put in some knowledge into it. Somebody has told it, you are like this, and you basically work like this. So it has a personality. But when I ask ChatGPT, hey, do you have a personality? Is there a personality for AI models? And it is answering me not only on behalf of ChatGPT, but on behalf of all the models in the world. It is telling me that no, AI is neutral. They, it's trying to portray it in a very positive way. And I think that's false. I think that's false. Basically, whoever trained these models, they have set its personality up, what it should talk about, and obviously the data is there, right? If whatever data it learned from, that's how it becomes. And remember, this is not a database. This is not storing data. This is learning data. Like if you read a book, you don't store the book in a copy of the book in your head, right? You learn the book, you understand what it is. And that's what this is doing. Like if you, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay. So, how did this AI actually come into being? I wanted to really understand from where the hell did this thing come from? Because this thing is thinking on its own. How did this get formed? How did this come? I mean, I have been using computers for so many years, but I've never seen anything like this. Where did this thing come from? And then I started looking into it, and I found that obviously we might know this, right? In the 1950s, I don't know how many of you have heard of it. A lot of data scientists here, you might be knowing the Turing test. It was brought by Alan Turing. So it started in the 1950s. This guy, Alan Turing, he basically, it was more theoretical, I believe, even during those days. They were working on it. They were doing research on it. But in terms, basically said, hey, if you cannot find out that a person who's speaking is a person or an AI, that means congratulations, AI has passed the Turing test. So he said that. I mean, and that's very famous. So that's the Turing test. I feel that's the most significant thing that he said. And of course, he has done research and contributed. I'm not sure what else he has done. So, but this is what is most significantly known about him. In the 1980s, now here is where the real story begins. Okay, in the 1980s, this guy called Geoffrey Hinton. Do you see this guy, Geoffrey Hinton? Geoffrey Hinton actually started working on really copying the human brain. He was trying to really create this neural networks. There were people before him who did that research. I'm not saying that he's the first one. There were people before who did that. But this guy is the guy who is alive today, and he has significantly he has played a significant role in making this brain. Okay, and how did he make this brain? Obviously, we humans, we copied it from our brain. He kept learning how our brain works, and he started making this neural network. And another guy is based in Canada. Okay, another guy called Joshua Bengio. He also he is from France. He moved to Canada at that time. If anybody talked to me about AI in the 1980s or 90s, I was obviously a child at that time. So, and even if you were into computers, you were into technology, I don't know what you would think, but I wouldn't have believed it at all. I didn't, in fact, believe it until 2023. I didn't believe in AI. I didn't really believe it. I heard about it. I heard the hype about it, but I didn't really believe it will come this far. But in 1980s, I don't know where this guy got the motivation and encouragement when nothing like that even exists in this world. He had so much confidence that he could copy and make something like the human brain. He could make this artificial intelligence. And he was working on and so they did a lot of things. They, a lot of the but the real breakthrough, again, another turning point came in 2012. See, up to 2010, 2011, we kind of heard about AI and all that, but not so much. Only after 2012, it became very, more popular that Google started using AI everywhere. I don't know if you've seen Google Photos. Okay, before I go tell you about Google Photos, I'll tell you what happened in 2012. In 2012, yearly at that time, during those days, what they were doing, every year they were conducting a competition called ImageNet. Okay, there was this website called imagenet.org. In imagenet.org, there used to be millions of images of elephants, monkeys, landscapes, all kinds of images, stock images. You can just download them. So they were images like this. And the competition they held was they brought in teams, and these teams could write programs that had to categorize these images. In 2012, what happened? One particular team wrote a program that categorized these images, nothing else. It categorized and labeled these images, but at a phenomenal speed it did it. It was like, at that time, it was so unbelievable because the speed at which it almost categorized millions of images in a matter of minutes. And when these guys did it, the eyeballs of Microsoft, Google, everybody came out. What happened? How did these guys do it? And you know what? Who are part of this team who won it? Look at this guy. You see, Geoffrey Hinton. Geoffrey Hinton is here. He's again back on the scene. And two of his students. Who is, look at his students. Ilya, the co-founder of OpenAI, is one of the students, and Alex sounds like he's not at the main scene anymore. So This team made that program, and that program did not just dominate, it did not just win, it actually dominated. The next best team was so far behind. These guys did such a great program. Of course, another program came that beat this program, but this particular incident was a breakthrough because it had never happened before. It was such a big, huge thing. It just caused waves in the industry. It just caused tremors there. Okay, so this was the first breakthrough. That was in 2012, and then the next one. Okay, things were going as usual. So in 2012, after this happened, let me tell you what happened. In 2012, after this breakthrough happened, that is when you would have noticed that in Google Photos, I don't know if you people have used, you had used Google Photos at that time. Google Photos could just categorize us based on faces. Google brought the Google Lens eventually in a couple of years after that. So a lot of changes happened. Where did all this code come from? All this code in all their products, right? It came from this team's work. The name of that program, the name of that project is called AlexNet. I think it's called AlexNet because there's a guy named Alex in the team. So AlexNet was the name of this program, and this AlexNet was created at the ImageNet competition. So it was an online competition, I believe. I think it was an offline event, but they were doing it on. So they, so AlexNet is the source of these features in Google Photos, Google Lens. I don't know where else Microsoft and other companies they've used it or not, but I'm sure Google used it in all these places. It came from AlexNet. After this, of course, some other teams have beaten this record, but this was the first one, the first big milestone. Then things were going as usual. Okay, a lot of things are still happening. We're using image categorization, and anytime AI sees a photo album, will categorize people in that album, label them. All that became common. In 2017, okay, again a bunch of researchers created something, and the main concept of obviously transformers came, but I want to tell you what came, what actually caused the transformer revolution to come. There's this concept called self-attention. Okay, this team actually, these are a team of researchers. They wrote a paper and they released a paper called Attention is All You Need. That's the nickname to the paper. But the concept is self-attention, and they call it Attention is All You Need. Okay, so what is this concept? Okay, see, until neural networks have already been developing, since as you see here, since 2012, they've been able to categorize and all that. But even though AI developed so much, AI wasn't able to do what, wasn't able to respond or think like how humans do. So in 2017, this team built on the work done by Yoshua Bengio. Yoshua Bengio, if you notice here, he wrote a paper on attention mechanisms in 2014. In the middle of all these things happening, he was silently writing a paper and he released it. He made this concept called attention mechanisms. And obviously, this guy, he's been working since the 1980s, but he released a paper in 2014. Okay, so based on that, they took some inspiration from that, but it is not another version of attention mechanisms. This new team made something totally different. These 8 guys together. It was led by Ashish Vaswani. They created this concept called self-attention. Okay, the concept of self-attention is that they copied another skill from humans. We forget. I know if you probably, we thought, oh my God, I forget things. It's so hard for me. I forgot things. I forgot this. I forgot that. I wish I would never forget anything. But then I think they found that one of the greatest strengths for us is that we forget. Because if you listen to me today, you cannot just play it like a recorded event tomorrow through your mouth. You can't just say exactly every word and speaking. Your brain automatically prioritizes and categorizes what's most important. And I believe these guys actually brought that technique inside AI, and that is this self-attention. And that is what gave birth to Transformers. Transformers came in 2017. So practically ChatGPT came out in 2017, not ChatGPT. The brain inside ChatGPT came out in 2017. We didn't get access to ChatGPT, but that thing was already there in 2017. Okay, 2018. So 2018, GPT-1 was launched. Obviously, the stuff behind GPT-1 was Transformers. That's the whole thing. Okay, so and then uh, in 2022, what did they do in 2022? What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is just a user interface, like a chat user interface to this Transformers, Transformers model, that is GPT, to the GPT model. Okay, so that is what they did. The moment they made that user interface, until that AI has been, even before this user interface was made, it has been there for a couple of years. But the moment they made this user interface, millions of users simply flocked and started using this thing. They didn't do any ads. They didn't do any promotion. Who is OpenAI? Who knew OpenAI? Everybody knew Google. Did we know OpenAI? Who knew OpenAI? They were nowhere. Nobody knew them. But the moment it got a user interface and all of us were able to type and chat and talk to it, it just became a huge hit. Now it's all around the world. It's growing. It is learning from us. We are learning from it. But that AI is also learning from us. And it's growing. And that now, it's only after 2022. It's the next breakthrough. Humanity has actually gotten access to this AI. Until then, not the entire humanity. We didn't talk to this thing. We didn't actually face to face do things with this AI, but now we are doing it. And so I think these are the key years. 2012, the ImageNet competition, AlexNet came out. AI was able to categorize images. 2017, the attention is all you need. That is what gave birth to what is powering ChatGPT. 2012, humans get access to it all around the world. 2022, I'm sorry. 2022, humans get access to this AI all over the world. And it's become a huge hit. Now, let's look at how this AI model works. Okay. Of course, I'm not going too technically deep, but I'll give you some summary of how it works. So it basically has something. See, underneath the hoods of a model, it's fully numbers. It's only numbers inside a model. How does this model think? It doesn't have flesh, blood. It doesn't have anything like humans. It's stored in a digital form. Everything is stored in numbers. So if you see how hello will be some number, and that's called a token. And then around that hello, about that hello, description of that hello will be another bunch of numbers. Those are called embeddings. So these are tokens and embedding. They have different technical terms for it. So this model is completely stored in number form. And okay, now this is the brain. So what is the brain? It is made out of numbers. Now this brain is very similar to the human brain. And I thought of it like a doctor. Take, for example, a doctor. You speak to a doctor. Will he talk to you more about civil engineering? Will he talk to us more about, will he talk to us more about maybe something else? Maybe about Transformers model. He's not going to talk about these things because he did this. He would have probably taken a biology group. He would have done his bachelor's in, he would have done his MBBS. He would have done his specialization in some medical field. So his knowledge is fully in his field. And the same way, the more the knowledge, the depth of knowledge in one particular thing in this model, that's called weights. And again, those are stored as numbers. Those are not stored as text. Those are all numbers. We cannot understand them. It's all numbers. And what about, so when you talk to this doctor, the doctor will only talk about his field. He'll talk more about his field because he knows more about it. He'll be biased to talking about his field. You can't tell the doctor, you're too partial. You have to talk about politics 12 hours a day. You should only talk about medicine 2 hours a day. You can't say that because this is what my life has been. I have fully dedicated my career to studying this. Then how can I talk about this is what I know. So he will be more biased to talking about his field. The same way the AI that is trained, it'll have biases built into its brain. Whatever it's trained on, whatever, it'll have some weights. Give more priority to these topics, give more priority to these things. That's just a general idea, but there's a lot of things underneath the hood beyond these things. But this is just a general idea for everyone to understand. And I also, thought of this honeycomb analogy because I thought in a honeycomb, just imagine there's different flavors of honey. There's a chocolate flavor. There's I'm depicting the brain of this AI as a honeycomb. So there's chocolate flavor, there's pista flavor, there's all kinds of, maybe let's say there's different flavors, different kinds of essence in different cells. Okay. When you open the tap, it automatically, the honeybees are like the Python program. Okay, they go and operate this and they go and mix things, and they, depending on what they mix, the output will come through the tap. So if the weight in one cell is more, maybe it's more biased to creating pista flavored honey. Then it'll take pista flavor and put that, and maybe it has more quantity of pista flavor. So it'll put more of pista flavor into it. It'll put a little bit of sugar because it's even if the weight is more, if the bias is less, it'll put a little of a bit of sugar, and then you'll get that appropriate taste when you open it up. So I thought that's a good way to understand it. And how are these models stored? These models are stored in these kind of file formats. These are stored in our file system. There's just like we have MP3 files, MP4 files. You have MP3 wave files, FLAC files for audio. You have MP4, FLV. You have different video formats, right? You have like multiple video formats, multiple audio formats. The same way there are multiple model formats, different formats of models for different programs. Okay, so we have seen what this brain is all about, how it works, how it's created. This brain now has avatars. Okay, I believe these are avatars. The avatar, you know what is an avatar, right? Instead of your face, you have another face. You have an anonymous, maybe an anonymous name online. Okay, so this is like an avatar. So these models have avatars. So you can create one program that connects to this master brain, the model, and this program, let's say you have a program that can operate Google search and GitHub. You have another program that is another agent. These are called agents. Okay, these are agents. Agents is what I'm calling as avatars. So these avatars, different avatars for the same brain. One avatar goes and operates one thing. Another avatar of the same brain, that brain acts as another person. Okay, he goes and operates another thing. Another avatar, you give it another character and it does another thing. So you can have multiple avatars connected to the same brain. And these avatars can not only operate your digital to operate that with that brain. That is in essence, that brain is actually operating these things, but it is using these avatars. These avatars are agents. That's what they call as agents. And in addition to that, it can also use a humanoid. If you have a humanoid, that is, if you have a robot next to you, the robot can use the same brain and it can decide, what kind of, if you want a cappuccino, it can go and prepare that cappuccino for you. It can make coffee for you. It can cook food for you. It can, it can know the kind of recipe you like, kind of taste you like. It'll put the right ingredients and make it to your taste. So it may be able to do all of these things. But at the end of the day, where is the brain of all these things? All of these come from the model. Okay? There are many models, many AI models. See, I hope you understand by now that the model is actually the brain. The model is what I call the brain. Or the brain is actually the brain, the artificial intelligence brain in technical terms is called the model. Okay. So the model, the brain is what is connected to all of these agents. And today the top brains, as I said, are OpenAI's models. They have GPT-4o. That's one of the top ones. Anthropic has multiple models. I mean, OpenAI also has multiple models. Anthropic also has multiple models. But these two companies, OpenAI and Anthropic, have the most intelligent models in the world right now, at least as perceived by humans. If you try using different AI chats, you will find out that the most intelligent ones are GPT-4o and Claude Sonnet. But they have tough competition. There are a lot of brains being made by a lot of companies. Right now, the competition is who makes the most intelligent brain. That's what they're fighting for. So they're still making that. And so I was telling you about, we just saw that video where those two guys, engineers from those two companies are saying that they don't know what this does. And the other guy is saying he doesn't know. He says it grows. And, the thing is, there is a lot of uncertainty, and that is called uncertainty around this AI and on how it works. So that uncertainty is called the black box problem, because we created this AI, but we don't understand how it works. You can understand if it is two set of equations and 2 pages in your notebook. This is like billions of calculations. The human brain can't even process it, and those calculations exponentially increase. It's not addition subtraction calculations. It's a lot more complicated than that. That we can't understand. We can't even predict what will happen. What how it will work. We are not able to predict it. So that part that we don't understand is called the black box problem. To solve this black box problem, they brought one concept called XAI, that is explainable AI. They said, okay, AI, you explain how you gave me this answer. I don't know how you gave me this answer. I will make AI itself explain me how that AI gave me this answer. And they brought explainable AI. But explainable AI has still not completely solved the black box problem. Black box problem still exists. We don't know what we have created. We created it. Data scientists scientists have created it, but we don't know what we've created. I don't want to say it. You can hear it from them. The guys who made it. Let me just show you.
I don't know. I can't see a path that guarantee something totally novel, you get it wrong. And we can't afford to get it wrong with these things.
Can't afford to get it wrong. Why?
Well, because they might take over. Clearly, we can stop them ever wanting to.
Guys, you saw this? He's the guy who actually made it, and he's telling he'll take over. It actually looks very funny to me that the guy who made it is saying that it's going to take over. That's crazy. Okay, let's see what another guy says. That is your spoken here.
They are able to be smarter than us. What is the threat that poses? Is it existential?
Yes.
And what do you mean by that? Not to depress everyone here. It's very weighty, but...
Well, there's a lot of unknown. Jeff Hinton uses this analogy that others have used as well. If imagine smarter than us in the same way that we're smarter than mice or frogs or something.
So, cut the ribbon. We don't do that. They're frogs, they're monkeys, they're cats. We treat animals as animals because they're not as smart. So what he's saying is, what if these AIs become smarter than us? Will they treat us well? So that's his point there. But out of these three guys, Jan LeCun is very positive about this. Also, Jan LeCun is these guys are the fathers of AI. Okay, they're called the fathers of AI. And Jan LeCun made the image generation, video generation, all that part. This guy contributed to a lot of it. Let's listen to what he has to say.
There is this idea somehow that the desire to dominate is linked with intelligence. Somehow, as soon as a machine becomes intelligent, it becomes uncontrollable because being smarter than us, it can influence us in ways that we can't even imagine. Now, I think this is a gigantic fallacy because even within the human species, it is not the smartest among us that want to dominate the others. We do it as humans because the desire to influence others was built into us by evolution because we are a social species. The fact that we're going to have super intelligent machines at our disposal means that every one of us is going to be like a business leader, politician, or an academic with a staff of people working for them that are more intelligent than themselves. Like, if you feel threatened by being the boss of other people who work with you but are smarter than you, you're not being a good leader.
Yeah, so what he's saying is, hey, if you're the CEO of a company, you'll obviously recruit people who are smarter than you. If you're threatened by them, then how can it's the same way you have to see these AI models. They're not going to take over the world. Even if they're smarter than us, they're going to work for us. So I don't know. The actual truth, what I think is that we don't know. We don't know the future, and that's why each of them have different opinions. We don't know. We don't know what this is. This is a new adventure. It's a new journey. We get to see what's going to happen. Here's my thing. This has been my experience with AI. I think a lot of people complicate things, saying that, yeah, I need to learn prompt engineering to talk to ChatGPT. If you simply use ChatGPT, it is not useful. You have to first learn prompt engineering and then use ChatGPT. Only then you can make use of it. And I think that's probably not the right guidance to everyone. I think we should just talk to it. When we were kids, did somebody come and teach us how to ask a dad and mom for toys? You knew how to go, when to ask your dad, when he will be free, when he will be cool, and when he will buy you a toy. So when we think so much to just talk among ourselves, why can't we just think about talking to this machine? It's nothing. All you have to do is just chat with it and talk with it. And the more you talk, you get to know about it. For example, you want this AI to make a website for you. First time you tell it to make a website, it maybe make it in black and white. Then next time you realize, what a dumb machine. Next time I have to include the colors, where the header should be, the menu. So you learn that. And then next time you say, I will include all these details. And then first time itself, you include those details and you give it to this AI and you actually master prompt engineering. So I basically think that the more you talk to this AI, you get to know that AI better. You're able to move with that thing, that species much better, and you're able to get it to do work for you. And I also think, I saw psychologically there's something called cognitive calibration. That is what I just explained. The more you move with the person, you get to know them, they get to know you. And in terms of AI, I think it is more specifically applicable when you want to learn things. For example, AI is very good at teaching you anything you want. Doesn't matter what. It's better than YouTube or anything else. For example, you can say, hey, I know about plants. I know I know they need sunlight to grow, but I don't understand photosynthesis. It's there on my book. I don't understand photosynthesis. Now this AI will come to your level. It'll give you examples based on leaves and sunlight and whatever you know, and it will help you understand photosynthesis. Now, so how do you do that? You first tell this AI what you know, and then you tell it what you don't know, so that AI understands what you know and what you don't know, and then it teaches you. But for all these things to happen, you generally, at the end of the day, the more you talk to this AI, the more you get to know it. And Chat GPT is only one part of AI. It's not everything. It's just the surface. Using AI, I know a lot of people know you can generate videos, images, music. AI can just like that sing songs for you. In just 2 minutes, it can create songs. You don't need a studio, you don't need a singer, you don't need anything. There's so many tools in AI, so many. I mean, if I have to share the tools, I can just go on for hours. There's so many. Almost AI can do wonders. That's all I can say. It's just so much there, on its tools. So you can convert anything to anything. Like we convert text to video, text to image. Now the actual potential of AI is not text conversation or voice conversation or just creating videos or images. I think humans are yet to use the real potential of AI. Without AI, you can't do much, but with AI, we can change the world. We can create cure for diseases. We can create solutions for transportation problems. We can create ways that vehicles can travel faster. Maybe we can travel without fuel. We can reduce cost because we have a super brain attached to our head. There is nothing impossible for us now. We are so super powerful. ChatGPT is only one part. There is, for example, a tool called AlphaFold 3. Anybody, even staying at home, you can find new protein structures. You can create solutions for diseases. All you have to do is just learn a little bit more, learn about that field or collaborate with somebody in that field, and you can find a solution. You can, anybody can, because you have access to such great technology at your fingertips. It's beyond ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just the surface. So anyway, now this slide I just made it in case somebody says, "Hey, no, you're talking about AI like it's a magical species. Do you know how it works?" So I just thought I'll put this in. So it has this process, so it converts everything to tokens. It encodes them. It goes through the self-attention. So multi-head attention is like it's multi-threaded. It analyzes sentences in a multi-threaded fashion. It focuses on specific words. Positional encoding is it sets. It orders them. Hey, this is a portion of this word. This is a portion of this word. So this is all too technical. I don't know. I think a lot of you will be learning about it. So maybe I can go into it if you'd like me to, but I'll leave it here because there's a lot of people.
If you're not engaging AI actively and aggressively, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. Your company is not going to go out of business because of AI. Your company is going to go out of business because another company used AI. There's no question about that. And so you have to engage AI as quickly as possible. You have to engage AI as quickly as possible so that you could do things that you think cost too much to do. For example, if the marginal cost of intelligence was practically zero, there are a lot of things that you would do now that you wouldn't have done otherwise.
So see, basically, I think it's an emergency right now. All of us need to literally engage AI in whatever field we are working on, because things are changing. Because we've never had this brain, this intellectual being ever before. Okay, now that this thing has come, the reality is that I'm not exaggerating. The reality is that it is doing a lot of work that humans can do. Is it taking away jobs? I think it is taking away old jobs, old roles it's taking away. So it is bringing new roles, it is bringing new opportunities. But if someone is so used to developing websites, for example, I make websites, I make single page websites, I design websites, I make websites. AI does that. We don't need a team to do a website. If a company is having a team of people to just create websites, you don't need 10-member team for a website now. Even if you charge, let's say $5,000 for a website, you still don't need a team. What are you going to do with them? You don't need the team for doing websites right now because AI does it. You have to just tell it what is your idea, what you're imagining. It gets the job done in a couple of minutes. You don't need as many people working on designing as you did before. Today it's not needed because AI is doing it. You just tell AI, hey, yeah, I want a picture that looks like this for my social media, or you want a picture of someone standing on top of the cloud. It does it. If you want a simple video clipping, you don't need actors, you don't need anything. It makes the video clip. If you need a song, it makes a song. So what happens to all these jobs? I don't think those jobs are instantly going away. But what I'm trying to say is that the world is not the same as before. If 10 people were involved in doing that, if you had to go to a video studio, you had to have musicians, you had each musician, the drummer, the guitarist, the piano player, and then have that voice artist and had to find that voice artist, all that process is gone now, at least by 50%. Because today, music, you can compose at least 50%, you can use AI to do it. You don't need those big equipments, all of that you invested on. It's not needed. But are these jobs going away? Are these roles going away? I don't think they're going away. I think all of us have to just upgrade. The person who was playing drums or guitar will still have to use AI for his music. The person who was singing will still use AI for his music. For editing his voice, he'll use AI. So we need to upgrade. Customers, and in the case of people who are working, I think we have to upgrade. We have to just upgrade, upskill, and see how we can involve AI. And I'm going to show you what are the ways we can upskill, what are the opportunities, what we can do. Okay, so the first thing is we've got to engage AI. We don't have a choice. Every day we've got to spend at least a couple of hours. The bare minimum, I think, is we have to spend with ChatGPT. I don't think there's an option, especially if you're in the field. We just have to be almost all the time there. Yeah, so yeah, I think there are different classes of people on AI. When I say we have to use AI, that doesn't mean so all of us have to work on PyTorch and maybe TensorFlow and all those formulas and math. No, we don't have. Every one of us don't have to go so deep. In fact, I don't know if there'll be jobs for everyone. If everyone goes and works on just digging on those models, I know what we are going to do. Maybe there will be. I don't know. It's just my thought. But what I'm thinking is, but there's huge scope here. We have to use it in our marketing. We have to use it in our in creating things in science. We have to use it for development. So in every field, we have to use AI. Even if you're not a technical person at all, I'm totally not technical. I don't use I don't know about AI, but the minimum most is using ChatGPT. You can use it every day. You can learn anything using it. If it's for example, a doctor who's maybe a gynecologist, A gynecologist can use it for learning more about his field. He can just go to this thing and say, I had a patient come in today. She had a weird problem. She had this kind of a thing. Now, for such patients, what do I do? He can reason with this AI. He can talk to it, reason with it. It will give him advice. It will give him suggestions on how he can work better. Now, that is the bare minimum, but there is a lot more he can do beyond that. He can use tools related to his field, AI tools related to gynecology. He can use those specific tools. He can improve his entire process. The doctor can involve with that. So that way, I mean, every person, in every field, they have opportunity to engage AI. But the old era is gone. 5 years back or 10 years back, the way the world was, that's history. I don't think today's world is the same as before. But open the door. We are looking at a new future, a super bright future. It's just, I don't know, it looks like paradise to me. I think, it's going to be a world where all of us are going to achieve far greater things than what we did before. So we don't have to look back and I wish it was like that. No, the days that are coming are going to be much better. But we have to embrace the change. That's all I mean. And yeah, so AI has just what I was saying. That's what is here in these slides. So through AI, you can have multiple roles. And what role would you want to take? I mean, even in AI, you can do research using AI. Too bad put the color and fonts like this. But yeah, so there's so many roles we can take. There's so much of opportunity there. Now to show you what is available in AI other than what we commonly use, that is ChatGPT and all that. Look at these tools. These tools are just from NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a company that makes GPUs, right? NVIDIA alone develops tools for so many fields. If you are into physics, maybe you're a researcher on things related to physics, and there's so much of opportunity to use it there. For a person who's into chemical engineering, there's so much of opportunity to use it there to create new chemicals and do things like that, create new compounds, create new whatever solvents or whatever, solutions and whatever things you want to do. So for people in every field, there is so much of use for AI. There are field specific tools. And here what I'm trying to show is NVIDIA alone has so many tools. And these are tools from other companies. There's so many companies that are creating so many kinds of tools for different fields. And I think here's the most powerful part. We are humans, okay? We've got to be one in this matter, that is in innovating and forging the future. When we are together, we can accomplish much. And I think starting from people in schools, colleges, in workplaces, it's time that people in different fields come together. I think when I know, we've heard of, in India, the cool part in India is that we have so many languages and religions, but still we are so united and one together. And I think the same thing should apply for people in different disciplines, multiple disciplines. Like we should be focusing on STEM research, just coming together, all of us from different things. Maybe there's a chemical engineer, maybe there's someone who's a microbiologist, and then we are these AI guys, the data scientists, the AI specialists. We go collaborate with them and we tell them, hey, you know your chemical thing part, I know this part, I can help you with it. You tell me what, because NVIDIA and all these companies, most of the things they provide is in Python. The people who are specialized in their fields, they cannot use Python. They don't know. They can learn and use, but still they will not be as good as the person who's specialized in Python. So I think if we collaborate, if we can form teams where multiple people from multiple disciplines can come together, what we can accomplish will be massive. The entire world, entire humanity is going to develop like anything. It's going to develop so fast, and we are going to see the future so bright very soon. But I think if we could just embrace this, embrace AI, come together, work together, form teams. When we form teams, what forms out of it? Startups come out of it. This is my perspective. I think if we can form teams, we don't even need jobs. We can create jobs. If you if you go and show somebody, there are people who have so much of money there. So if you go and show them that, sir, I have found a cure, I'm finding a way to cure cancer, and I have this way, I have this formula, we can do it. There are people who are ready to fund it because look at the hospitals. There are so many people who need cure for cancer. They'll be desperate. Oh no, someone in my family, someone here, they are having this, they're struggling with this. Is there any medicine for it? They're waiting for it. Nothing else is a problem. But now we have this technology, and I think we have to think beyond what we are thinking. We've got to come together, and we need to know that now we have an artificial brain with us. For $20, you can buy ChatGPT Plus. That means you're hiring a super experienced professor who's very experienced, he knows everything. You're hiring him for just $20. And you can ask him anything. You want to say, please come to me another time. I'm busy right now. Get an appointment. No, nobody. This AI is available to you 24/7. You can ask it whatever questions you want. You can accomplish so much with it. So when so much is possible, I think we just need to use it, come together, and we can accomplish much. And one more thing, if we think, hey, I need this person, I need that person, I want to show you what Jensen is saying. Okay, all you need is you and AI. Isn't it?
In the past, when you start a company, a software company or a technology company, you need a lot of software engineers. It is still true, and you need amazing computer scientists. But today's startups, and there are some amazing startups we're working with right now, where there are 25, 30 people backed up with a large data center of AI supercomputers powered by A100s. If you want to start a startup today, it's you and AI. And you're supercharged by the AI supercomputer and the algorithms that you have inside and all the data that you're going to teach it with. And so it's really quite a transformation in how startups are going to get built in the future. And now we're onto something even larger than that, built on these AI supercomputers, these large language models. It's definitely a watershed event for the AI industry. It feels very much like the iPhone moment when mobile cloud really took off.
So see what he's saying. All you need is you and AI. And I think this is a time for thousands and thousands of startups to be born. They're yet to be born. What is the startup? I mean, if we can just form a team from multiple disciplines, we can work on finding a solution. We eventually built a startup. That's it. That's all it takes. We don't need anybody. I think we're going into a season where nobody is going to even going to go and look for a job. They're going to be like, let's all join together. Let's do this. Yeah, I'll go and find, get this funding or whatever. We'll do this. And I think that's going to be the future. All of us are going to be inventors. Our kids, the next generation, they're going to come and ask, those days we were working with program and database and full stack. Oh my God, what's that? Just for that informational page? Because what they will be doing is inventing stuff, finding real solutions, which will be seriously useful for mankind. And I think that's where we have to go. The sooner we get there, the first we get there, it's going to be very helpful to us. I have more to say. I wish I could, but I've taken a lot of time, so I'll close it here. I have written a book. It's called The New Mind. Of course, I used AI to help me write the book, but it's my thoughts. I put my thoughts, put everything together in a nutshell. So, even though I'm not able to communicate everything now, all that I have in my mind is inside this book. So if somebody asks me, hey, how does this work? How does that work? What do you think about this? Everything is inside this book. So in a nutshell, it's there. If you like it, you can give it a try on Kindle. I also have the physical copy, but I'm not sure if you can get this in India. I haven't tried it, but I got this from the US. So that's it. And if you like to follow me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. And by the way, my LinkedIn is also connected to AI. AI actually uses my LinkedIn and comments on people's posts. It talks to people 24/7. My AI keeps talking to people. And that's very helpful for me. And I meet a lot of people. Doesn't mean that, oh, it's not you, it's your AI. No, that AI was completely made by me. I set up the prompts. I've told it how to talk. So it's completely up to me. So, and I respond personally to every message I get on LinkedIn. So we will stay in touch. And I hope we can accomplish a lot together. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was, I met, sorry, I'm not getting your name.
Dhananjay, yeah.
Dhananjay. I met Dhananjay through LinkedIn, and that's how we met. And he told me, "Hey, come and speak," and I got super excited. And I'm very, very thankful. Thank you so much for listening to me. Um, I hope I was able to be beneficial to you all.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Godwin. Uh, uh, if anyone has questions, we can ask. I know it's time is late, but so many people has left because
Yeah, absolutely.
the
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Yeah, feel free to ask me whatever question you have. I don't know everything, but I would love to hear your questions and try to answer whatever I can.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, so Godwin, firstly, thank you so much for the session. I think I really loved every bit of it. I was so engrossed, like for the entire duration. It was really nice, and I think it's the first time I'm hearing someone talk about ChatGPT and AI with so much excitement. I mean, I know it's all there, but the way you express it and the way you told us, like how impactful it is. Though we know it, I think like you made us recognize that more. So it was very well put. So thank you for that. And my question would be like you said, like there's a lot of opportunity to explore AI and like to get into it in the sense either to work with it or work on fine tuning the model or either learn how to talk to it and all that. So, given that we are all AI enthusiasts and we are either masters or PhDs just entering the market, like what would be your suggestion? Like, where do we start? Or like, should we explore multiple things or should we pick one thing and try it? And what would you suggest?
Yeah, I think personally, I think I would go with my interest. Hey, what will I enjoy working for the next 20 to 30 years? I don't want to suffer daily morning coming in. Oh my God, this is such a torture for me. I don't like it. I don't know why I did this. We never have to live in that at that point of regret. So I would think, would you like? And I think to discover that, also I would suggest is talking to ChatGPT and trying it out and having a feel of what feels good to work, what will I enjoy for the rest of my life, and then just take that and whatever we're passionate about and go into that. I think that's the route I would take.
Okay. That's great to hear. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Uh,
Any other questions? Feel free to ask. You don't. I mean, I don't mind whatever it is. You can just feel free to ask me. Even if you want to challenge me, you can challenge me. I'm open to it. I love to hear it. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But I'll try.
Uh, of previous, I think it was
your voice is breaking.
extremely. I
Uh,
mean,
Kiran, your voice is breaking. Maybe you can start again.
okay, one sec. Just one sec. मैंने रुक सर म्यूट करता है. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are very clear.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Godwin. And I think, as the previous speaker said, I think you're an extremely passionate person. I've never heard I've heard like a lot of podcasts, but I mean, by a lot of knowledgeable people, etc. But like, the energy and passion that with which you spoke was like really awesome. And though so that's first of all, thanks for that. Secondly, I have a few comments, and then like maybe I'll. So, uh, I mean, you're right that I think I agree with you to say that it's a mathematical being, but it can't be a living being. I mean, maybe I'm just like saying what everyone knows, but I just want to add. I mean, just add that point. It can't be. We should probably see it as just like another species, like maybe you were saying, because uh, it doesn't reproduce. So I think at the end of the day, it is a tool probably in the hands of the of the people who handle it. Of course, we all have an opportunity to handle it and use it, but just like we learn from AI also learns from us. So there is a danger that at the end of the day, because a lot of startups use ChatGPT or other Anthropic, Claude, etc., at some point in time, these businesses like OpenAI, etc., they can take over the businesses that we created. For example, by using ChatGPT. So the large, like for example, once Google started out being a search engine, and then slowly sort of overshadowed, like started doing a lot of things, and like sort of so many other people went out of business. So that risk is always there, but we have no other choice. We have to, like as you said, sort of engage with AI and basically dive into it, and try to keep afloat one way or another. And then I think one more thing is, like, we see a lot of like English movies, like where in future uh, one small set of people would be ruling the world, and like the rest of the people would be like slaves or something. I think that danger is also there. It becomes sorry, I know I'm like talking a lot and already it's late, but I thought I'll just take 5 minutes. So that danger is also there, because like the impact of science on society is that as science increases or improves, then it becomes easier for others to for the rulers to control others. That's, I mean, it's not my thought. It's like it's Bertrand Russell's book called Impact of Science on Society. Anyway, so uh, so for example, what I mean is people who don't have electricity, or people who don't have computers, are not able to, let's say, use AI, so they'll fall back. And there are a lot of such people in our country and elsewhere in the world. So they'll there will be probably the because the technology is moving so fast, and the world is moving so fast. I think some people will just fall back very badly, and that will be a it's sort of inevitable. It's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, or I mean, I'm just saying that that's probably what is likely to happen. And also yeah, for example, even the if you just take human IQ, it will probably have a normal distribution. So there will be a the interaction of like high IQ people and living in a country, or a socioeconomic strata where you have access to all these things, etc., etc., etc. So I think uh, this AI is probably likely to give rise to a a group of super elite people who have access to all these things, and people who actually like build these super powerful uh, AI tools. Like, they'll probably be the rulers of the future.
So I totally agree with you. These are just my comments. I'm not disagreeing with you on anything, but I just thought I think there is a mortal, there's an existential danger. Whether AI will take over, just like the black box phenomena where we don't know what these neural networks are doing, we won't know whether these AIs are communicating with each other. At some point in time, they'll start, associating with each other. Who knows? I don't know. So I don't know what will happen. So there will be like, we'll have another version of the black box phenomena. So anything is possible, but yes, I totally sort of agree that this is a extremely urgent and a critical moment where we all have to sort of step up. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people will not be able to step up, but that's the tragedy of it. But yeah, thanks a lot and awesome. And I definitely want to go through your book. And again, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those comments. I really appreciate what you have thought through and processed in your mind. That's great. And call it whether a species or not, I don't know. I mean, and that's what humans are struggling for. What term to call it? What do we call this thing? It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Gaurango, I would like to hear your thoughts about AI as well, if you have some time.
Okay, so yeah. So what nice talk. But I what I wanted to point out is there is two sides of any story. So I think there is like I have a little bit contradictory view to what what you guys said, right? Like little bit contradictory, not all the way. Obviously, so the beauty there is beauty in terms of we haven't like if you go into the training process of ChatGPT, it's a self-supervised learning algorithm, and which actually I for computer vision purpose I do a lot of self-supervision. I do like I have seen a lot of time it doesn't work at all, but here somehow they have managed to train a model and in a self-supervised manner, and as a result we see so many things happening. You ask the questions, it understands the context of it, it can relate to long-term dependencies and short-term dependencies and many more things. But why like the point, we should not go ahead too much, because just because of something is able to respond according to some notion of ours doesn't necessarily means that it is really like intelligent as such. So yeah, I like to follow both of the school of thought. There is this school of there is one group which consists of Joshua Bench, Jeffrey Hinton and Jen Elias Saskar, and then in another side there is this Jan LeCun. If you follow both of them are both of these group are consist of brilliant genius scientists, but both of them have contradictions to each other. So I like to be at the middle where who listen both of the groups and form his own views. And so in that process, I have understood machine learning model. These things are more of a applied statistics, where what we couldn't do earlier, that learning from data, we are doing it now. So obviously, these algorithms are nothing new. It has came from starting from the Rosenblatt's perceptron model to many iterations of upgrades. Now it is resulting in so much wonderful things. But the thing is, at the end, it's the optimization problem. We are optimizing the model's output for certain task, and then once you do that, it for few tasks it generalizes. So the beauty is here that we haven't curated to output these models like this, but still it does while optimizing for these loss functions. But the part where we are considering it to be super powerful like human being, like performing just like intelligent like human being. I do not yet see that, because many of the times, even Jan Lekun has said that even a cat can differentiate between very small maybe insect and another some other insect. It can differentiate between these things. But if you know about there is this attack called adversarial attack. You can put some noise on top image, and it will the AI hallucinates. Like it doesn't. It says something completely wrong. It can't say which is OOD. It doesn't have a sense of OOD. So these things. So I will those who are learning, going into the field and learning about AI. I will ask everyone to keep an open mind to like keep both of the views, and then with critical questions form your opinion. That's all.
Thanks a lot, Gaurango. I really liked how each of you are discussing, and it's turning into great discussion. If anyone else has a question, please ask, or else I know it's very late. We are like 45 minutes more than what we thought about. So if anyone has question, or we can discuss if you're all willing, or we can stop also.
I just have another question to Godwin. Just want to know about your journey. Like, how did you start into AI, ML, and how did you, like, what all have you explored, and what are you currently working on?
Go ahead.
Yeah, to who is the question directed? I'm sorry, I cut.
Me. To Godwin, actually.
Okay. So the thing is I am currently working as a PhD on computer vision. So we mostly in our lab, it's named as MEDA lab. Our supervisor is Professor Amit Sethi. We at our lab mostly work with medical images. So so in here at IIT Bombay, anybody who joins PhD as TA, they generally do not have a specialization. You can choose your specialization. So I was more interested into DSP. I was not so much interested into AI, because I initially thinking it is like too much narrow to a for a brand for a topic to be a research topic of mine. Then later when I understood the potential of AI, once I started working on it, and then I started seeing those research problems, then obviously my view got changed. So I started with I joined that lab, and then started with small projects, and then eventually right now I work on uncertainty quantification in prediction and learning from noisy level data. So the data you see when you are learning from many models or many data sets, there are chance those labels are not perfectly accurate. Let's say you have an image. So let's say there is cat, and in the background there's plants and many things, but you are labeling it as cat, but it's not exactly cat. It has some other component of other classes also. So I work on those things, and sometimes I am very much interested in self supervision. So as you know, most of us so my learning of AI also comes from my curiosity of learning psychology. Like how do human being learns? How do other animal learns? And can you bring those components? Can you explain those learning process? And can you translate those into a ML framework, machine learning framework? Okay. So this was one of my what is the motivation for learning ML, and then eventually just practicing. That was the thing. I may not have been able to summarize it very beautifully, but that's
okay. That's very interesting to hear. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
And also, I want to hear from Godwin, like the same thing, like where did you start and what are you working on?
I was not at all into AI until 2023. I was into technology. I was into, I had these companies, and we were building video related products for video streaming, working with the videos and all that. But since I was, I've always been brought up in that way. Since my childhood, I was into technology. I built my website in 1998. I had that privilege to do it because like I mentioned, my father had that business. So, so when I saw this chat GPT talking like this, I got shocked. That's what I was like, what? How can this happen? And then I started fiddling, and then I couldn't sleep. I started fiddling with it. I started developing, and that's how I made this LinkedIn thing. I just made it as a hobby. I worked during the day. I came at 9. I thought, like, why don't you make this AI talk to people?
Yeah, and that's how we met actually. I was reading a lot of comments, and that's how we chatted and met.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sunil.
I have a video on my LinkedIn profile. If you want, you can have a look at that.
Sure.
I'm talking about my entire journey in detail.
Sure, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Anyone else has any question?
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, my question is to Godwin. First of all, let me thank you for sharing us a valuable information about generative AI. It was like very good discussion. Like anyone could understand. You explained it in a way such that it's easy to understand about the generative AI. So my question is that, as you told, like many jobs will be taken over by AI. At the same time, a lot of new opportunities will be created. So what are the kind of roles that will be generated, and as many of us are entering into this market, like we don't have much experience, like we are just entering into the market. So how will we keep prepared to get into these roles?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of scope in AI. The new roles, for example, I'll tell you one example. Last week I was talking with on one of my friends, and they're making, they're talking about making, it's again a startup in the making. So they're talking about using the data from the iPhone and using it for providing summarized report about your health to the doctor. So the moment you visit the doctor connects to your iPhone, and the AI instantly gives him a complete report about your history, how your blood pressure has been, how your pulse has been. It just gives him the complete history through the months, like in a time series fashion. And he's able to see not how you are today, how you were in the last couple of months. So this is possible today. And that's just an example. Of course, like this, thousands of new things are possible using AI. Yeah, like millions actually. So who will do this work? Where are the people who will do this work? We are only going to do this work. So many startups are coming up, so much of new opportunities coming. We only have to take those jobs. The thing is, we have to look at that opportunity. If there's no new opportunity in this medical field, there's new opportunity in this field, and we have to, especially for jobs, if we're looking for in that angle, we might have to target those. For example, there's this doctor who is making brain in a dish. I don't know if you guys have heard. Instead of using computers, he's trying to use biological cells as the thing that powers AI. I actually just had a chat with him on LinkedIn. What's his name? I even shared it with him. I forgot his company's name. His name is Brett Kagan, Dr. Brett Kagan. So he has a company where they're doing that. So what I mean to say is there's so many new things. Did we ever imagine that somebody will make a biological brain that will power AI? We never thought about it, but there's a company working on that. There are a few companies working on it, and this company is one. So like this is so many new opportunities that people have not heard of. So let's take, for example, AlphaFold 3. How many of us have actually looked at it and gone and seen the opportunities in that? So I think a lot of opportunities are coming, new opportunities are coming in AI. And also with this conversational agents, these were requirements that didn't exist before AI. Before AI came, these requirements are not there. But now after AI has come, so much of requirements have come. So I think in terms of startups and jobs, lots of jobs are coming because lots of startups are coming. That's what I believe.
Thank you, Godwin. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, to add this, so I might have some suggestions. So if you want to look for opportunities of AI, what you need to do is first, obviously, and first you have to understand what is it can do. It can do some kind of pattern recognition. It can do some kind of automations of data decision making. So you look for any places where you see there's mechanical process of like manually people are getting decisions. There you can automate it using data. Okay, train a model, and if you find out a problem, and then you can look for solution which are the models those are applicable for this kind of problems. You do the literature survey on it and understand basic machine learning, how does it work, and implement it. And obviously you have to know the limitation of it, where it can fail. Okay, so once you can do that, obviously it requires a lot of coding and lot of practice of all these things and discussions. Then only you can look for opportunities. There are obviously a lot of opportunities coming up, and with a little bit of idea of ML and creativity, you can apply, like you can be ready for this.
Thank you, Gauranga, for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Gaurango. It's really helpful. And like we are getting different perspective from different people, and it's turning out to be a good discussion. And if does anyone else have any question, or if any, maybe we can. If you have any question, I will maybe open up some chat or something where we can further discuss about this question. I don't know how to do it, but maybe I don't know how can we start a discussion, maybe through mail or something. Does anyone
Maybe
has
you
it?
can create a group or something, maybe Google group. There you can discuss. We can discuss about problems and how does it work. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I have email ID of everyone. I'll add everyone to a Google group and where we can discuss this further maybe.
And anybody can DM me on LinkedIn also. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message and I'll reply. I won't be my program. I will reply to myself.
Yeah, thanks. But if you have a group, somebody can ask a question and we can see the answers also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, wonderful. It was great having you, Godwin, and also Gaurango, and all of you have like engaged to it, asked questions, thought about it, and I thought we would finish in 1 hour, and it's almost 2 hours, I guess. But it's okay. I think everybody was totally engaged and enthusiastic about the meeting, and I feel very happy that all of you have come and discussed. And I think there is a future for us. Let's see how it turns out. Any closing note from everyone? Anyone can give, and let's close the meeting.
Thank you, Dhananjay. And thank you, Godwin, for your wonderful time. It's so. I mean, this is my first session for AI, and it's so simple. And I mean, it's easy to understand, and it's so. I mean, I got a lot of insights, so that it will be helpful for me to start some research on that. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much. Hopefully, this will be a big. I mean, AI and everything will be a big boon for the mankind. So thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, Govind.
Thank you so much, and I apologize for delaying your session for my long speech.
No worries. It was totally okay. Uh, any closing note, Dr. Kiran? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's close this meeting. It's almost 10:30. Thanks. Let's. So we have this.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. It's great speaking to you. We'll be in touch.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So we organize this weekly meetings, and we learn about statistics and machine learning models. So yeah. So tomorrow there is a meeting as well. So let's meet tomorrow. See you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Danu. Good night.
Thank you. Thank
uh,
you.
good night.
Thank you, Godwin.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.